Catus Maximus here. I have a few of these little tiny wrenches, although I put them in a drawer with a whole bunch of other adjustable wrenches, and since they're small they always end up in the bottom, and I don't feel like digging out all the other little ones to compare against. But it's always neat to collect these 4-inch little mini adjustable wrenches. 4 inches tends to be the smallest of commercially made ones. There's a couple companies, professional tool brands, that actually make, I think, little 3-inch ones. This happens to be an Xcelite, which you don't see. You see like nut drivers and various, precision wire cutters, kind of small electrical tools is what you see from Xcelite. But traditional hand tools, not so much. You can see this is coming out of Orchard Park, New York. Alloy steel, so it is a proper professional grade, quote unquote. This one's certainly been used. Been used quite a bit, to tell you the truth. Whoever, I think Dan at some point probably was the original owner of this little set of pliers, or this little adjustable wrench. Jaws are a little chewed up, but they're actually not too bad. Now, one thing we can do here is whenever you're looking at these wrenches, you want to try to close them all the way down. And we can see here that this jaw has been slightly stretched because there's a wedge of light, so it's slightly bent. I did dig up one of my protos and even compared to the Xcelite. They're both, they're adjustable wrenches. There's just a slight difference in jaw geometry, but even on tiny ones, you really want the jaws to come together real nice and straight, and that's the first thing to really check and a good way to evaluate it. I thought, since I don't have one of these, I don't use 4 inches that often, and this isn't that bad. It's a little bit bad. I don't see a lot of marks indicating that somebody was hammering on it. There may be a little evidence there, but it's entirely possible that it was this manufacturer where the jaws didn't come together great. Jaw play, actually not too bad. We can see that actually most of it's coming from the fact that the bore is just a little bit loose for the bottom of the jaw. If we have it in its closed position, we have about the same amount of wobble. It is finished pretty nice. We can see how the thickness of each of these bars, how it was pretty symmetrically ground, so good attention to quality control. We can see the through hole for the thumb wheel is pretty well centered. Same thing on this side. You could look on both sides, they'll indicate if maybe it was cantered at an angle. It actually is fully rebuildable. We do have a threaded through fastener, and you can see that these threads are clearly flat on one side, come on camera, and tapered on the other, known as buttress threads. It's an absolute staple. Cheap adjustable wrenches use straight threads, which just aren't as strong as buttress threads. And that's one of the things I will give Xcelite credit for, is even on their tiny one, there's clear buttress threads there. And one of the critiques of Proto's Professional USA is the fact that I guess the Proto is buttress thread too, just not quite as eccentric as it is on the Xcelite. So Proto escaped some criticism there. Other than that, I like to collect and review all these different brands of adjustable crescent style wrenches, and running into a tiny little Xcelite I thought was pretty cool. Pretty rare brand to actually find these kind of tools from. Anyway, really appreciate everybody who's been watching. See you next time.